Hello and welcome to JamHammer. In this video we're going to be taking a look at this lovely Warhammer 40,000 Dark Vengeance box set that I picked up second hand. Now this is, I guess, about 10 years old at this point. I believe this came out with the 6th edition, which would have dated to about 2012, 2013. But I just thought I'd get back into Warhammer and I saw it for a really good price, so I decided to pick it up. So we're going to take a look at the contents here and see what state this is in. Now I was quite happy to find this box set because it kind of coincided with the release of the 9th edition rulebook for Dark Angels. So I managed to find this set which has got, I don't know, about 800 points worth of Dark Angels in it. So we can see here the lovely contents, painted to a standard which I would never hope to achieve. Got a list of the contents here, so it's got some HQ choices, troops, elite, got 2 little armies here, as well as the Dark Angels. We've also got some Chaos Forces. I mean, I think this box is worth it alone just for those Cultist miniatures, which I absolutely love. Now, opening the box up, we can see here we've got a nice glossy rulebook, some absolutely fantastic artwork as ever, as we come to expect from the Warhammer franchise. Some very cool looking Dark Angels Marines fighting against the hordes of chaos here. It really does some great work here, doing some world building. I can't wait to just sort of delve in here and see what we've got. So opening up, we've got the usual preamble, setting up the lovely grim dark world. And although this is quite a small book, it does seem to have all of the rules condensed in here, everything that you need to play. I believe this is 6th version of Warhammer. You can see there that they've got the burner and the blast and the ordnance templates, which I believe aren't in use anymore. I'm still slowly learning 9th edition rules at this point. So even throughout the book we've got these little snippets of artwork as well, which are really great, add some fantastic flavour, and some paintings and pictures, as well as some photographs of some really nice quality miniatures. And some very confusing tables. I'm already enjoying 9th edition with its much more simplified rule set. That I don't have to have quite as huge a stock of reference materials now. It's quite nice here as well that it's got a breakdown of all of the miniatures and stats from different codices, like from all the other different armies that are available in 40k at this time. So yeah, it's nice. It's good quality material. It's quite thick as well. We've got plenty of rules in there. It's quite nice for them to include that in there, as well as this how to play, which is a much more condensed rule set. As you can see there, it's already trying to pull you in to read that first before trying to delve into the more complex rule system. And on the back here we've got some more of these great quality photographs of some heavy metal style painted marines and figures. The Chaos Forces too, again completely unobtainable. Even had hundreds of hours, I don't think I get any of my miniatures to look anything like that. So open this up, it's quite a useful introductory tool that it takes you through. It breaks down every phase, so we've got quite detailed and prescriptive instructions on how to move, how to shoot, how the turn goes, as well as it being like really simply laid out and demonstrated. You can see like the got arrows on, like superimposed on the pictures and everything to really demonstrate what's going on, taking through all the phases. And then after that we've got a few other scenarios that you can play with the figures in this box. And with it being a starter set, we've also got some little hints and tips here on where you can go further, some pictures of your Standards Games Workshop. So let's look at other materials we've got here. So we've got a quick reference sheet that sort of breaks down the turn sequence, the to hit and assault charts, things like that. It breaks down all of the units that we've got in the box here, so the Dark Angels forces and the Chaos. It's just useful to have this here, and then on the back there we've got some of the movements and things. This is quite like nice durable quality cardboard. I can see there's another one in here, like, oh dear, and we've got a few miniatures. Doesn't look like these guys have been glued together. And we've got the old templates there that I don't think are in use anymore, so we'll put those to a side for now. I've got these very ubiquitous measuring sticks as well. I remember these from when I was playing Warhammer back 15 years ago. These haven't changed. These are what we used to use in our Games Workshop before I upgraded to a tape measure. Got a nice little pack of dice here, as well as a scatter dice, which I don't think exists anymore. I think we've got a much more simplified rule set now, so that doesn't do anything. So we've got another, let me just pull that out. Yeah, another reference sheet here, but this is just printed on paper, it seems. Not as durable, but it's got the same information on there. Let's just dig this out here. This appears to be a... it's an assembly booklet. Well, these being quite like static miniatures, these are monopose miniatures. It looks like they just fit together in this very prescriptive way here, so I don't think there's much room for embellishments. Not a huge fan of how these go together usually. You know, it's a bit limiting in the scope of what you can do with these miniatures, but considering this is a starter set, it makes a lot of sense that these are just clipped together, so you don't even need glue. You can put them together. Really great for an introductory set that you can clip these from the sprues, I assume they came on originally, and pop them together. It looks like that's what the previous owner has done here, so you can see there's quite a few loose pieces here, so I guess that they haven't glued these together. So if we put these aside, I just noticed that there were a couple of miniatures that were painted up. So look at this here, you can see that the person who owned this before has done a pretty decent job. You can't quite tell on the footage, but the paint feels very thick and chalky. So I think that what they've done is not use actual miniature paints. It looks like they've had quite a difficult time covering up the grey plastic here. It feels like they've just used regular acrylic paints that you might have got from an art shop. And so they look a bit washed out. We've got another one here with a quite wonky backpack. So I think even though these guys have been painted up, they've not been glued. This looks like it might be the first one. It looks a little bit choppier in terms of the paint and things like that. But what I'm thinking I'll do is I'll strip the paint off these guys. So keep an eye out for a video coming up on this channel later on, where we'll take you through a really nice, simple way to remove the paint from these miniatures. We won't be using any expensive or dangerous chemicals, nothing that's going to harm you or your miniature, and nothing that's going to require any really sophisticated machinery. But yeah, it should be okay for taking these off, and then we'll paint them up, and hopefully we won't even be able to tell that these guys were pre-painted. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the miniatures that are in this box. They do look like they have already been assembled, so we can have a look at these poses. What I'll probably end up doing is taking these apart, cleaning them up, because it looks like we've still got a bit of flash on there. Again, keep an eye out for future videos. We'll go through all the stages that you need to go through to get your models prepped and ready. But it looks like they have just been assembled anyway. So we've got a motorcycle. It looks like the standard. I think these are all going to be standard tactical marines. It's going to be firstborn, since this predates Primaris. So a regular bike squadron. The absolutely essential plasma rifle, of course. These are Dark Angels. I've got some really cool poses. I'm looking at this tactical sergeant. It's really got the flowing cloak and the chainsword held out to the side. It's a fantastic pose, even though you can't remodel these. It's really got some life in there. I really buy that the idea of speed here, with everything flowing backwards, like the unit citations and the robe. And then the other marine, there he is, just holding a bolt pistol there. So, and that's the whole squad. So we've got a veteran sergeant with a chainsword, a plasma rifle, and then just a standard marine biker there. So I'm just going to delve in again, and we've got a couple of tactical marines here. Yeah, definitely not been glued together, so I think we need to find their bolters. They appear to be missing their hands. Let's just focus on them. So we've got one here that has held together. Yeah, standard tactical marine. Again, looks like another monopose figure holding the bolt rifle. Backpack still in place, and I'm very glad to see that that fragile-looking sort of ornate dagger on the backpack hasn't been snapped off. These guys have just been rattling around this box for the past decade, so it's good that they've held together like this. Oh, yeah, of course, here is our our second plasma weapon, of course. Very Dark Angels appropriate. Some more Marines, these look to be... I think it looks like they've doubled up on the standard Marines, so we've got 2 of each pose. Oh, and here we've found one of those guys' bolt rifles. He doesn't want to be without that. I don't think he's going to be able to handle those, the onslaught of chaos very well without that bolt rifle.
Just a flesh wound. Look, stop that, chicken!
Digging around in the box a bit more here, and we found the Tactical Marine Veteran Sergeant. It's another really cool pose with the chainsword held out front, and oh, what a surprise, a plasma pistol there as well. So we'll add those painted Marines there. They are really standing out against the grey. And just looking now, we seem to only have 9 Marines, so we're missing number 10 somewhere. We'll delve back into the box and see if we can find that errant chap. Oh, we've found another bolt rifle. Okay, we've almost come to full guns anyway now, so that's good. So you can see here that this is how these figures come together. They have these little pins, so they just push in there, and I think they'll stay in place like on the board, but just rattling around this box and they've fallen apart. And oh, here we are. Here's the last Marine with a really nice plasma cannon. It's like a fantastic figure. I remember like my miniatures back in the day from 3rd edition. They didn't have these sort of like really nice backpacks that linked into the weapons. So seeing these are fantastic. They always had to have the pewter like Devastator weapon. But we'll look at some of the elite choices. Okay, yeah, we've got the Terminators as well now. So we've got 2 of this figure in the box. This is just a standard Deathwing Terminator here. Also got a special weapon with the Terminators. It's a assault cannon. And this is a fantastic figure. Again, like a lot of detail on here. It's going to be really fun painting these up and trying to pick out all of those little additions to the armor. A lot of ornate daggers and feathers and ropes on there. I think it's going to be a real fun challenge to get the paints out again, try and get to grips with painting after so long, and see what sort of standard we can get out of these. There's some great miniatures to come back to the game with. So we've also got yet another special weapon. Here is the melee weapon. I've got a chain fist. Some really nice detail around that chain fist, as well as like a little embellishment on the back of the hand. Really nice striking pose as well, aiming down the barrel of that storm bolter. That's just the same guy again. Yeah, you can see just doubled up on the standard storm bolter power fist Terminator, and then we've got the veteran sergeant for this unit as well. It's a fantastic figure, like really striking a nice pose with that sword there. A lot of nice detail to the armor, like this really cool swooshing robe on the front there, because, you know, veteran sergeant. Oh, and even I just noticed down there a decapitated chaos skull, so definitely no love lost here in the box set. It does look like all the miniatures, all the Terminators have these little bits to cover up the hole in the base. So there's it looks like a couple of skulls. That chaos head is in the chaos cultist head. Yeah, it's quite a nice idea, so you don't just have bases with gaps in. So we'll look at the HQ choices from the Dark Angels forces, and we have a Librarian. Really nice figure, again, like a lot of lovely detail around the robes and things. We've got the sort of like ornate etchings on the sword to sort of denote that this is a force sword. Be really interested to play this because back in the day when I collected Warhammer, I ran Black Templars, and very untrustworthy of casters. So yeah, they did not suffer the caster to live. So I never got a chance to really have a psychic phase. So it'd be really cool to actually play with a librarian for once. And then we have the Force Commander. So this would be the Chapter Master here, the Lord. And oh, I've just noticed it looks like this has suffered some damage in the box. Looks like you can just see there that it's missing the tip of the sword. And it looks like his winged helmet is a little bit bent out of shape as well. So I guess that not all the miniatures have survived okay in the box, but hopefully it's nothing major. Once we painted this Marine up, hopefully he'll look okay. And I can see they've got there's another little bit of plasma sticking out there, the Combi bolter plasma rifle. I've just been looking up the rules for how those are different as well. So back in the day, it was like a one-use weapon. You could use the plasma part of that rifle once, and then that was it. Whereas now, you can just fire both at any time. So there they are. That's the Dark Vengeance, Dark Angels Marines, all resplendent in their glory, in their finery, looking great, all plastic and grey. Really looking forward to painting these guys up. I think it's a great introduction, especially with using the Dark Angels. You get like a lot of different paint colours. We're going to have the greens for the Tactical Marines, the black for the Ravenwing Bikers, and then that sort of bone colour for the Deathwing Terminators. Keep an eye on the channel. We'll be taking each of these units, using some really simple paint techniques to get them up to a nice tabletop, battlefield-ready standard. Alright, well, those are the quote-unquote good guys. Let's delve back into the box now, and we'll take a look at the Forces of Chaos. Okay, first things first, we've got Leatherface in cultist form. Looks like he is draped in flesh, and he's a Chaos Cultist. You know, he very well could be. We've got another one here that's got a very cool gas mask. Not quite a Steel Legion one, but who knows where these people may have differed from in the Imperium. We've got another chap here with another lovely cudgel. We'll go through these quite quickly. We can see here there's some fantastic detail on these miniatures. It's almost a shame to paint them up, considering how quickly these guys will get decimated with their 6-sub save. But we love them all the same, you know, for securing objectives. So we've got, again, much like the Dark Angels, the standard posed figures are doubled up. So I've got a new one here, a chap here with a knife and a pistol. So it looks like these have fit together. I don't know how I think these have just come as they are. Here is one of the sergeants, I want to say, for the cultists. It's a really cool figure. It kind of looks like a tech marine, or it could be one of the AdMech forces. Oh, his arm is actually bent slightly out of shape. I think that's just pivoted on the pin that's holding it in place, though. I don't think that's actually damaged. We've also got this unit of 10 long-range cultists. Let's have a look at the figures that we're getting there. Yeah, another cool, really industrial-looking units, these. My idea is that, as well as these guys being painted up for the troops choices in the Chaos Forces, I'm also going to use these as like a Chaos Necromunda force. I think they'd be great for that. There's some great figures here. This in particular is possibly my favourite. This guy running forward with the hood and the gas mask. I like the drum magazine on that auto rifle too. So yeah, these are doubled up again. So we've got 2 of each of these, you can see, so we'll pop those down. And then, and here is the sergeant for these forces. Now this is interesting, he's wearing what looks like a horror mask, wearing an insidious mask, and what looks like a commissar's coat. So yeah, it seems like these guys are Imperial Guard defectors. We can certainly read into that. And we've got these special weapons holders as well. with a chaos mask. This one's got a heavy stubber. And then it looks like it's the same pose, but this is one with a flamethrower. So I think he is supposed to be with the assault cultists. Now let's get onto the Chosen in the box, and these are some absolutely wonderful models. One here with lightning claws. We've got some other nice melee weapons in the box as well. Unfortunately, it looks like these, there's some quite pointy, as ever, Marines. It looks like they might have been snagged a bit in the box. So I've got like a lot of components here. So I've got missing backpacks, which I guess this doesn't fit on here. And, oh my goodness, I think this is a head, a piece of a shoulder, and a bolt rifle. I can't believe that's how they fit together. That's where they decided to make the cut off. That's ridiculous. Like, I can't believe that's not been damaged. And this looks like it might be the actual backpack for the guy. Yeah, so we've got two of this guy. This is just a standard Chosen with a bolt rifle. Unfortunately, when these guys come under the very heavy fire from the Archangels, I think I know who's going to be dying first. Won't be this guy with the power fist and a bolt rifle on the waist and a bolt pistol. So yeah, I believe these units do have both bolt rifles and pistols they can use in combat. So we've got a Marine here who appears to be missing the top of his head. We've got a really nice power axe. Yeah, okay. I thought the last one was ridiculous. This is the top of the guy's head. Yeah, I'm struggling with this because it's so fiddly. A part of the shoulder and the pistol. This guy's going to need to be glued in place. I can't believe this would hold together too well. Yeah, like the top of the head is just hovering above the miniature. So, I mean, you get the idea, but he kind of looks like he's sort of like tipping his cap to you. I can't really imagine Chaos Forces being that polite. Yeah, that's just the other Marine with a bolt rifle there. The unfortunately expendable Chaos Chosen. And then here, oh my goodness, he's lost his backpack. See, okay, I'm gonna have to. First thing on the list is to purchase some plastic glue. Okay, yeah, so he's ready to look at now. So I think, yeah, this is the aspiring champion, I think. Don't hold me to that, it's been a while. Yeah, with a power maul and a really nice cloak. Now I think this guy could actually stand in as a lord figure himself. It's a really nice miniature. And especially considering I've looked at the points total, I feel like the Chaos Forces are going to get absolutely decimated. But then we also have the actual lord here, with a plasma pistol. I'll say the Dark Angels are probably going to be taking that off your corpse, man.
Tell my story. Build a statue for me.
Oh, it actually looks like this guy has broken. It looks like the pin may have snapped off his power sword. So it won't actually hold in place. Yeah, it's actually snapped there. So I think hopefully just like a dab of glue will hold that in place. But as it stands, he's a little bit damaged. This guy is definitely chaos through and through. But the horns on his helmet are intact. At least that's good.
We will build a big statue for you with my helmet on, with the big bendy horns.
Oh, I've just found as well another cultist in the box. I didn't realise we're out of cultists. And oh, and here we go. Last but certainly not least is the Helbrute with a multi-melter and a power fist, or it might be an actual dedicated Helbrute claw. It's an absolute monster of a figure here. It's really fantastic. Like a lot of like weird, gross growths coming through there, like around the vents and things, loads of spikes and protrusions. It's going to be a real treat to paint that guy. It's an interesting choice having the multi-melter though, because the Dark Angels forces don't have any vehicles, any like real heavy hitters, so I feel like that weapon's a little bit wasted, but see how he goes there. And then here we are, the Forces of Chaos, all lined up looking good. So much like the Dark Angels forces, we're painting these up on subsequent videos on the channel. It'll probably be Dark Angels first as I get to grips with how to paint again, because I think they'd be a little bit more beginner friendly to paint up. I've only ever really collected Marines back in the day anyway, so it's going to be an interesting challenge to paint the Chaos forces. A lot of bony protrusions and gold filigree and edging to do. A lot of horns and pointy bits, so I think that'll be quite interesting to work with. And that's 2 full forces ready to go, all the rules to play, as well as a condensed version of the rulebook, all the dice that you need. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with this. I'm really looking forward to painting these figures up. The Dark Angels will be Dark Angels, so I'm not really sure what deity to devote the Chaos Forces to, so if you have any suggestions, please do put those down there in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to the channel. We'll have some more videos coming out very soon, and until then, thanks very much for watching.